ساتوی پسرو وینو داد شهیدانو کور داد باتورانو کور داد باتورانو کور داد باتورانو کور داد باتورانو کور ساتوی پسرو وینو داد شهیدانو کور داد کور داد باتورانو کور.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on this Tuesday, June 24, 2025. I'm Suleiman Talash. Officials from the Supreme Court of the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan met with a delegation of Turkish scholars to discuss academic and judicial developments in both countries. According to the court, both sides emphasized the need to strengthen cooperation in the future. The Ministry of Public Health has announced that over the past year, more than 46,000 free surgical operations were successfully performed at Wazir Muhammad Akbar Khan Hospital and Specialized Hospital by skilled Afghan doctors. In addition, the hospital provided free outpatient services to over 194,000 patients and inpatient care to more than 15,000 individuals. Afghan refugees in Pakistan are urging the Islamic Emirate and the international community to intervene and support their situation, while calling on the Pakistani government to extend the repatriation deadline. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Refugees and Repatriation says it remains committed to safeguarding the rights of Afghans refugees in all host countries. Here is the rest of the story.
Afghan refugees displaced to neighboring and regional countries for half a century of war and climate change issues say that despite having established businesses over the years, they face short deportation deadlines that violate international principles.
We urge the Islamic Emirate to send a delegation to Islamabad for a joint meeting with the Pakistani government and UNHCR to ensure Afghan refugees are given enough time to settle their affairs and live with dignity and peace. A deadline has been set for us, yet we still have no clear information about the departure list. A specific timeline should be established to enable us to manage our work and daily lives properly.
Meanwhile, Amnesty International organization reported that since Pakistan announced its illegal aliens return plan on October 1st, 2023, over 1,080,312 Afghan refugees and asylum seekers have been forcibly returned to Afghanistan in violation of international law and the principle of refoulement. The organization is calling for an immediate extension of the validity of Afghan card holders.
The UN Refugee Agency has issued POR proof of registration cards to over 1.4 million Afghans set to expire on June 30, 2025. Amnesty International urged Pakistan to respect refugee rights by halving forced deportations and renewing POR cards before expiration. Only through cooperation and commitment can conditions be created for Afghan refugees to live with dignity and security, whether in Pakistan, upon return to Afghanistan, or during legal resettlement to third countries.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Refugees and Repatriation states that although the deportation of Afghan refugees has slowed, the Islamic Emirate remains committed to protecting the rights of Afghan refugees in all host countries.
د مهاجرونو راستنیدونکو چارو وزارت وضعیت له نږدې څاري. د مهاجرونو خوندیتوب زموږ لپاره لومړیتوب.
The Ministry of Refugees and Repatriation is closely monitoring the situation with refugee safety as a top priority. We are fully prepared to receive returning Afghans and welcome them home. The Ministry is working with international partners to ensure a dignified, organized repatriation, which has helped reduce forced returns globally.
Since the establishment of the Islamic Emirate, over 5 million Afghan refugees have returned to the country. The Ministry of Refugees and Repatriation has also announced plans for upcoming bilateral and trilateral meetings with Pakistan and Iran to facilitate the gradual return of Afghan refugees.
The Rural Rehabilitation and Development Department of Parwan Province has launched the construction of 18.5 kilometers of rural roads in the Kafshan Valley of Shinwari district for 12 million Afghans. The project will create job opportunities for hundreds of workers during construction, and once completed, it's expected to ease transportation challenges for residents of several villages in the valley. On the other hand, the Afghan Red Crescent Society reports that it provided over 1.7 million Afghans in cash aid to returning migrants last year. According to the spokesperson for the Red Crescent Society, food aid was distributed to over 18,000 families and non-food items to nearly 5,000 families. Returnees welcomed the support and urged the other aid groups to assist as well. More details in this report.
The Afghan Red Crescent Society says it provided over 1.7 million Afghans in cash assistance to returning citizens in the year 1403. According to the spokesman for the Afghan Red Crescent Society, they also delivered food aid to more than 80,000 returning families during the same period.
The Afghan Red Crescent Society provided various services last year to returning families. Among these, 17,055,000 Afghans who were given as a cash assistance to returning families. Food aid was provided to 18,282 families, and non-food items were distributed to 4,949 families.
Meanwhile, several returning migrants expressed appreciation for the assistance and called on other humanitarian organizations to provide similar support.
We are very happy because we have been treated very well. We receive 2 meals a day, and we are thankful. We hope for continued support, as many people are in need and very poor. Thankfully, assistance is still being provided.
The spokesman added that the food and non-food assistance included essential items such as flour, oil, pasta, beans, lentils, sugar, dates, tents, blankets, and kitchen sets.
The Afghanistan Electricity Company has announced the activation of a 10-megawatt thermal power plant in the Tarakhel area to help reduce power outages in Kabul city. Officials added that efforts are also underway to upgrade overloaded lines and transformers in the public power grid to prevent unexpected disruptions. The National Statistics and Information Authority has announced that over 2,700 Afghans living abroad received identity card service in June of the current year. According to the authority's spokesperson, the services included 942 paper IDs, over 700 duplicate cards, and around 1,000 temporary IDs that were processed. And the final one says that the Ministry of Interior reports that 9 individuals were arrested in 8 provinces for drug-related offences. Seized items included 2 kilograms of opium, 1.5 kilograms of crystal meth, 1,400 pills, and other narcotics. In Herwat City's 15th district, a drug processing factory was dismantled with large quantities of chemicals and equipment recovered. 1 person was arrested and is under investigation. That's all for tonight. Stay tuned to the latest news from RTA News. Have a good night.
ساتوی پسرو وینو دا د شهیدانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور ساتوی پسرو وینو دا د شهیدانو کور دا